What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we've got a gun review for you. Today we're going to be going over the full 1,000 round review of the Watchtower Firearms Apache. Now the Watchtower Apache is a double stack 1911 pistol with a steel slide, a steel frame, and a polymer grip. The gun also comes with a single port comp, some pretty cool slide cuts, really good sights that we'll get into in a minute, and an optics mount. Now this is a go fast gun.
.46.
Pretty good considering I shot 7. This is one of those guns that you buy that you really want to push, and you want to push it far. Oh yeah, 303. So this is 303, and I have just a little bit of gap. Do you see that? Between the tree, and then I have the VTAC barricade. Oh boy. And then the scaffolding. I have to shoot through the scaffolding, through the tree, but I can hit it.
You can do it.
Last one.
All right, Bubba's at 285.
Yeah, let's see how this goes.
Breathe out.
Hit!
Boom!
You got it?
He got it.
Nice.
Laray's gonna try this here at 215.
Oh boy.
Slow, smooth, exhale, and then shoot. Hit! This gun was basically the brainchild of Nick from PewView. He also happens to be one of my friends and one of the best shooters on planet Earth. And he tested this for over a year before they released this to make sure it was exactly what he wanted. And what he wanted was a gun that was lightweight enough to transition quickly while having good enough recoil control to go very fast, having a good trigger to make accuracy easy, and having the barrel to make shots that are absurd because he does trick shots for a living. So he was basically making a gun that can go as fast as humanly possible while maintaining accuracy. And the double stack 1911 was a great choice for that because it is one of the fastest and most accurate platforms on planet Earth. My personal opinion is that it's the fastest. It's pretty good. This is one of the best handguns we've ever tested on the channel. Good job, Nick. I didn't want to shit on your gun, so I'm excited you made a really good one. The gun has a really cool single port compensator, as you see here. We have that 4.6 inch barrel, and then Nick's slide cuts are really awesome. We've been playing with them on the range here the past few days, and they are the most functional slide cuts that we've ever tested. There's no holes in the slide, so there's nothing to get in the slide, and on top of that, it serves the purpose of not only lightening the slide to lighten the reciprocating mass, but it also has a really grippable surface on the front or the back. Now, the compensator works really well, and Nick timed this perfectly with the recoil spring, so the recoil is awesome. What you get is you get a little bit of rearward push and a little bit of upward travel, and then when the gun cycles, it comes back completely flat, as you can see on the footage there, and you're right back on target. All guns are going to come off the target a little bit. The point is for them to come right back and go right where you were, instead of nose dipping down or not returning low enough. So I think he did a great job with the timing of the recoil spring and the port. Now, the speed of the gun was incredible, and you could really tell that that's what Nick was trying to achieve because he achieved it. I mean, I was shooting like 1.27, 1.3 bill drills.
1.37.
Okay.
1.27.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
The gun wasn't just fast for me. I actually have my wife, Laray, shoot it, and my nephew, Bubba, shoot it. They both work and shoot with us every day now, so they're getting better and better, and you can definitely see their skill level here.
Check me out, bitch.
Now, a part of that was due to the grip. The grip is really good, and part of that is due to the slide mass, the recoil spring, and the comp all working together in unison. I mean, it is really impressive what you can achieve with a gun like this, because it does have to work for you, and if you practice a lot, you can get really fast and really accurate. Now, as far as the accuracy goes, the accuracy was not only impressive for me, I was able to hit pretty easy at 50 yards, 100 yards, 150 yards, and then when we got up to 200, it got a little hard, and then I actually managed to get one hit out of about an entire magazine at 300 yards.
All right, we're at 205. Hit. Hit. Hit.
Cool. Well, we can do that for sure. 251. So,
All right.
before I was shooting in between targets. Now I can actually hit just the whole target.
Nice. You were low right. You were still low right. Hit.
Oh.
250? Oh yeah, 303.
You're low.
Last one.
Got it.
Now, what's even more impressive is that Bubs got a hit at 285 yards, which was really crazy, and my wife got 3 hits at 215 yards, and neither one of them have ever shot past 100 before. Nice hit.
That was
You
low.
skipped that one in. You hit the ground and hit it.
All right.
We're-
Bubba's at 285.
Yeah, let's see how this goes.
Breathe out.
Hit!
In here.
Boom.
You got it?
He got it.
Nice. Left. Hit. Low. Right. Hit. 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 Right. Right. Hit. Left. Left. I don't. Hit. You're out. Good job. First time shooting 100, you got like 50%.
215.
Hit. Slow. Hit.
Boom.
So believe in yourself, get a good gun, and you can achieve the accuracy you want to achieve. You just have to practice. Now, as far as accuracy goes, I would definitely put it in the top 1% of guns that we reviewed on the channel. Part of that is because of the ergonomics of the pistol, of course. Part of that is because I have my favorite optic on there, the 2.5 SRO, but most of that is due to the quality of the barrel and the ability for people to operate the trigger. First off, the gun has to be mechanically accurate enough to make distances of like 200 or 300 yards, for example, which we did shoot with this pistol. The second thing it has to have is the ergonomics for the shooter to be able to do it, which is much more likely the failure point. Almost every gun that you buy at the gun store can hit at 100 yards. It's just you that can't. If you get smaller and smaller guns with heavier and heavier triggers, you have a tendency to push the sights and the bore off the target when you are pulling the trigger to the rear, because the gun's so small you don't have the ability to steady it in your hand, and the trigger's so heavy that you push it off to the side. Since your finger works on a fulcrum, the gun always moves one way or another. Now this is the trigger here, as you can see. It's about 2 pounds, which is a great pull, maybe 2.5, but the reset on this is awesome, as most 2011s are. So you can see here, not only is that going to aid in accuracy, but it's going to aid in follow-up shots as well, because the shorter distance you have to travel, the quicker you're going to get there if you move at the same speed. And I have to say, this is definitely on par with things like the Staccato XC, the Atlas Erebus, and the Pit Viper, which are incredible guns. Now, what really gets crazy about this gun is that it's very, very expensive, but not very, 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 very expensive. A lot of my custom guns come in at the 6 to 7, or even in the case of my Erebus, $8,000 kitted out, whereas this gun is around $4,000 in the configuration that you see here. The reliability of the gun was extremely good. We've only been shooting it for 2 weeks, but we've already put 1,000 rounds through the gun. Now, the gun itself was extremely reliable. We only had one malfunction, and that was when I was shooting at 100 yards with one hand.
You were way low right.
Made the gun fail.
Uh-oh.
loosened. And the reason for that is when I'm trying to isolate just trigger control at 100 yards, I basically completely loosen my grip, and that made the gun short stroke a little bit, which makes a lot of sense because it is a comped gun and they're sprung for a very specific type of recoil control. Not all comp guns are created equal. As a matter of fact, a lot of these 2011s are purpose built for comps, and they're usually a lot more reliable than the polymer wonders that you get that have comps added to them later. Now, the reliability was great. We shot 115 grain ammunition for the most part. As a matter of fact, I think over half of it was Fiocchi. Some of it was my Atlanta Arms competition ammo. Some of it was Federal, and then some of it was Blazer brass. So we shot 4 different types of brass cased 115 grain 9mm ammo. Now, the comp definitely lightens the recoil, so you don't have to squeeze quite as much. So you don't fatigue quite as quickly, and you can shoot longer on the range without maybe your wrist or your hand hurting. And if you are a less skilled shooter, it is certainly going to improve your cadence of fire because the gun is going to do a little bit of work for you that you wouldn't have to otherwise. Now, as far as the gun goes, I do believe it is one of the best guns we have ever shot on the channel. And honestly, I'm a bit biased. A, because my buddy made it. B, because I love 2011s. And C, because I love to go fast and push the bounds of firearms. And these custom 2011s allow you to achieve accuracy and speed that you just simply cannot with other guns. Now, I know a lot of people in the comment section right now are going to write, you can't buy performance. Well, you actually can buy a little bit of performance. You can't be a really shitty shooter and buy a great gun and all of a sudden be Jerry Michalek, but you can gain, let's say, 10% from going something like a stock Glock to something like this. And I feel like these guns really push not only the bounds of speed and accuracy, but the bounds of engineering with handguns. And I love competition guns because they drive the tactical world, they drive the law enforcement world as well. A lot of the innovation that's come in the tactical world comes from the competition world and guns like this. People who take a chance and they try to put a gun together and wham bam, they get something like this. Now again, this is one of the absolute best guns money can buy, but it is very expensive. At $3,500, it is really expensive and not for everybody.
Bubba, what do you think of the Watchtower Apache after shooting a ton of rounds through it?
Goodness. Well, this thing's super smooth. Can't express enough how awesome this thing was to shoot. You know, I've been playing a lot around with the Taurus that I shot awfully, and going from that to this is like a pile of shit to a mansion. I also hit a target at like 280 yards, and that's the farthest I've ever shot in my life, so I was pretty pumped about that.
Did you find it easy to use as a lefty?
Oh, I did. The controls being ambi and everything like that. I mean, my hand fit on it very well, so I mean, it was easy to grip. The recoil on it's almost nothing with the comp and everything, so I mean, and the light on there, so I mean, all in all, it's just a really fun time shooting it. I definitely like to get one for myself.
I love 2011s. I love luxury. I love the fact that they are just so smooth and easy to use, like butter. The controls on this are super easy to handle. Everything just feels like they put the time and effort into figuring out how to make it a seamless, snag-free experience. When you spend this kind of money on a firearm, you want it to just be like angels singing. You want to feel like a badass, and I definitely think they achieve that. And one of the questions I personally get the most is, how do I get my wife into shooting? How do I get my wife to love shooting as much as Mrs. Honest Outlaw? Well, 2011s is how, but I absolutely loved the Apache, and we are so thrilled that he made a really good one, and I think you're gonna love it.
Now overall, I would consider the gun to be an excellent buy. If you're a hobbyist, or if you're a serious shooter, or if you just like to go fast, I think this is one of the better options you can get on the market. Certainly not the only one. I would consider this definitely on par with the Staccato XC. I would take a look at them both. Personally, I like the grip of this one a little bit more than the XC. It feels a little bit better in my hands, but all that's personal preference after all. The point of the gun is it's extremely fast, extremely accurate. It happened to be very reliable. However, one last thing I do want to mention is that I did hear there was some quality control issues with these guns. Now, we didn't experience that, but that being said, sometimes you get good ones, sometimes you get bad ones, so be aware of that. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please support your Oklahoma shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later. You're out. Good job. First time shooting 100, you got like 50%.
Check me out, bitches. Check me out, bitches.